Why do we cry? It's something we all do, right? From watching a sad movie to just getting something stuck in our eye. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on? Well, it turns out there's some pretty fascinating science hiding right there in our tears. To really get our heads around the different kinds of tears, we're gonna follow a little story. Let's meet our main character, Iris. And for our purposes, Iris is gonna represent the human eye. Now, the thing about Iris is she's super sensitive. I mean, she is pretty much always in tears. It doesn't matter if she's sad, happy, or even just a little bit overwhelmed. And we're not talking about a couple of drops here and there. On average, our eyes produce about 10 ounces of tears every single day. That adds up to, get this, 30 gallons a year. That is a lot of crying. So how is that even possible? Well, to figure that out, we need to get to know Iris a little better and take a look at the amazing anatomy behind every single tear. You see, Iris, our eye, has this incredible built-in toolkit for making tears. Her lacrimal glands are like little tear factories, constantly turning out new ones. At the same time, these special tubes, called lacrimal puncta, act as a drainage system, getting rid of the old tears. It's this super efficient cycle that's running all the time. In fact, if you could look really, really closely, you'd see Iris is crying just a little bit all day long, even when she doesn't notice. And that brings us to our very first type of tear, the everyday protective tear. These are called basal tears, and they're exactly what they sound like. They form the base layer. They create this constant, super thin coating over the surface of the eye. Their whole job is to work in the background, keeping things clean, hydrated, and shielding the eye from all the dust and gunk floating around. But these basal tears are way more than just salt water. They're actually this complex, three-layered shield. On the inside, you've got a mucus layer that basically glues the tear to your eye. The middle layer, the aqueous layer, is the watery part that hydrates and fights off bacteria. And then, on the very outside, there's an oily lipid layer that makes the surface smooth for clear vision and stops the tear from just evaporating away. It's a tiny little marvel of engineering. So, normally, Iris is just going about her day, not even thinking about her basal tears. But then, one day, she has what you might call an irritating encounter. So, Iris meets this character named Onion. At first, everything's cool. But then, Onion starts chopping some veggies, and a hidden chemical weapon is unleashed. You see, when you cut an onion, its cells break and a chemical reaction kicks off, creating this nasty gas with a very long name, syn-propentyl cis oxide. The name isn't important. What is important is that this gas is a major irritant, and when it hits Iris's eyes, it stings a lot. This is where our second type of tear comes rushing in, reflex tears. The body's emergency alarm goes off, and it unleashes a flood of tears to wash that irritant away. These reflex tears come in a much bigger volume than the everyday basal tears, and their watery layer is packed with extra antibodies to fight off any microscopic invaders. Their mission is simple: get rid of the threat and do it now. Okay, so Iris gets away from the onion fumes, and the reflex tears calm down. But the whole thing has left her feeling, well, emotional. And this sets off a totally different kind of crying, one that doesn't come from the outside world, but from deep inside. This is crying from the heart. These are emotional tears, our third and final type. When you feel something overwhelming, whether it's deep sadness or even pure joy, your body can feel like it's losing control. So it sends in these emotional tears to help stabilize your mood fast. This is usually when you notice your heart rate goes up and your breathing gets slower too. But what are these emotional tears actually doing? I mean, why do we cry them? This is one of those questions that scientists are still trying to figure out completely, and the theories are just fascinating. So, there are a few big ideas. One is that crying is a social signal. It's a way to tell others, hey, I need help, or to show that you're not a threat. Another theory is all about biochemistry. Studies have found that emotional tears actually contain higher levels of stress hormones, so crying might literally be a way to flush stress out of your body. And get this, they also contain something called enkephalin, which is a natural painkiller. So crying might actually physically make you feel better. All right, let's pull all of this together and just take a moment to appreciate the incredible power packed into every single teardrop. So,
To recap, we've got three totally distinct types of tears. There are the basal tears, the ones that are always there, lubricating and protecting our eyes 24/7. Then we have the emergency reflex tears, which act like firefighters to wash out anything harmful. And finally, the complex emotional tears, which help us regulate our mood and communicate what we're feeling on the inside. Three different tears, each with a vital job to do.
So, you see, Iris's tears were never a sign of weakness. Not at all. They were proof of a highly advanced system working perfectly to keep her balanced, healthy, and safe from the world. So, the next time you feel a tear welling up, just pause for a second and ask yourself, which kind is it? Is it basal, reflex, or emotional? Because now you know the incredible science behind every single drop.